Weekly news. Weekly news.
Education,
Environment.
politics,
Economics.
agriculture.
Culture. Weekly news, a roundup of national news of the week on Renouveau TV every Saturday.
Weekly news, the news to English speakers.
Fans of Renouveau TV, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our weekly news. The significant martial damage. This is the balance of the traffic accident occurred this Tuesday, 15 August, between two minibuses, one carrying passenger and the other vegetables. It was in front of the town hall of Commune 6, located in Sokoniko. The wounded persons were taken to the Gabriel Touré Hospital. The mayor, Alou Koulibaly, paid them a visit and wished speedy recovery. Opportunity for the mayor to invite the population to more attention in the traffic.
Weekly news. Weekly news.
This Thursday, August 17th, a cistern registered AM 9157 MD from Sogoniko Auto Station struck the Tour de l'Afrique monument. There has been no loss of life, but material damage is significant. The driver lost control of the mastodon around the Tour de l'Afrique. He finished his race inside the monument. The circumstances of the accident are not known for the moment, but the driver was taken to the police 7 station. According to a witness, the cistern left downtown. We were working here. In our great surprise, the cistern has moved straight on us. Hadn't it been our vigilance, the vehicle would have marched on us, testified a guard of the Tour de l'Afrique. At his turn, the driver explained the reason by a technical breakdown. Before the arrival of the rescue services, the traffic has been temporarily disrupted. Investigations are underway to locate responsibilities. Already, part of the core of the Tour de l'Afrique is completely damaged, and the direction has staged the judicial services to repair the damage caused.
Weekly news. Weekly news.
The city of Kita vibrated this Saturday, August 12, to the reform of the official launch of activities of the 8th edition of the 27th Citizen Holiday, coupled with the celebration of International Youth Day. There are more than 10,000 young people from all the regions through the country to take part in these 3 weeks of holidays. Mamadou Tapi for more details.
After Sanankoroba in 2015, Banjangara in 2016, it is the turn of Kita to host the 8th editions of the Holiday Citizens, an ideal space for citizens building. These days of activities are also perceived as a real framework for education, socialization, and participations of young people in national construction. The theme chosen for this year is Role of Youth in the Fight Against Terrorism and Violent Extremism, a theme that reflects the realities of the country. To overcome this scourge, the Minister of Youth and Citizen Construction, Amadou Koita, will invite the youth to a citizen startle. Your role, young people of Mali, cannot be realized without peace and security. Our country is facing violent terrorists and extremists who have a sordid endeavors to sow terror and desolation by unfortunately instrumentalizing some young people in the realization of their unspoken designs. I would like to invite you to a citizen startle by defeating all attempts to destabilize our country. Who better than you could constitute a shield against the merchants of illusions? The celebrations of these 8 editions coincide with the operationalizations of the National Youth Service and the finalizations of the process of elaborations of national policy of citizenship and civism. The activities of the celebrations of the International Day of Youth, coupled with the citizens' holidays, mobilize hundreds of young people at the sites of Kita, Tukoto in Kaya regions, Tomia, Manjakwi in Ksegu regions. This event is a citizens' act that brings together all Malian youths.
When I get an invitation card to participate in this activity, it was very good for me. Because here I meet some friends, I get some new friends, come from always in Mali. And it give opportunity also to discover something in Mali we was never discovered in Kita. And this is something who give experience to us to know and to travel. I said for a Malian friend, sister, brother, everybody, to come to be a one Mali. One Mali union, one Mali prosper, and us from a world.
Beyond the festive and recreational activities, young people will have to learn the values of civic engagements, civism, patriotism through chat debates, training sessions, and awareness raising on issues of national interest. As for the First Lady Keita Aminata Maiga, grandmother of the edition, after emphasizing the historical character of the Kita commune, the cradle of Kourkanfougan, renowned for its legendary spirits of conciliation, praised the relevance of the theme, without a doubt that young people are at the crossroad. That is why you must take advantage of the values taught in the camps and contribute to the fight against terrorism and violent extremism through awareness-raising activities on the field. The president of the National Youth Council, Suleiman Satigi Sidibe, took this opportunity to reiterate the support of the youth to the President of the Republic in his initiative for the development of the country before welcoming the collaborations between the two parties. It should be noted that this event recorded, among others, the presence of the members of the General Secretariat and the Cabinet, the Central Service and personalized organizations of the youth and citizens construction, the administrative, political, traditional and customary authority, and the populations of Kita.
Weekly news.
Authorities in Bamako District 6, headed by the Mayor Alou Coulibaly, presided Saturday evening at the Yorojambougou district behind the social housing of Irmajo at the inauguration of the water sample borehole. Fruit of the cooperation between the town hall and the Agence des Musulmans d'Afrique, it was in the presence of the customary and religious authorities of the district, the communal council, and a representative of the partners. For the donor, the representative of the L'Agence des Musulmans d'Afrique, Mr. Bakary Coulibaly, this humanist gesture is supported by partners based in Kuwait in the framework of mutual aid and solidarity among Muslims in the world. According to him, this Muslim NGO is present in several regions of Mali and intervenes in several fields. He calls on the beneficiaries to make good use of the gift for its perpetuation for the benefit of the population. The mayor of the District 6, Alou Coulibaly, said that the Yorojambougou district, located on the slopes of the hill of Yirmajo, faces many and varied challenges. The cost of the living is the difficulty of access to healthcare, transport, electricity, difficulties in accessing basic administrative services, and inadequate supply of drinking water. As problems were known, the diagnosis was made as soon as possible in order to provide the appropriate solution, said the Mayor Alou Coulibaly. He added that in supporting the Town Council of District 6 for the construction of this water castle, you have contributed not only to the well-being of the population of Yorojambougou, but also to the achievement of the objectives of the municipal council commitments. Giving water to someone is already great, but the population of Commune 6 still needs our initiative to improve their living condition, said Mr. Coulibaly. It shall be noted that the Agency of the Musulmans d'Afrique is an NGO that helps the poor population. This includes the construction of mosques, hydraulic infrastructure, vocational training centers, training of young people in manual trade, computer science, Islamic culture, and the granting of microcredit to projects.
Weekly news.
Aliou Mahamar Touré, former head of the Islamic police of Gao, accused of having cut off the heads of suspected thieves, was sentenced this Friday to 10 years of prison by the Court of Assises of Bamako. The court declared the accused guilty of all the charges against him, but with extenuating circumstances, and condemns him to 10 years imprisonment, said the president of the Assize Court. But during the trial, the accused denied all the charges against him and presented himself as a hero of the nation who saved the life of the Malian authorities.
Weekly news.
Ahmed Al-Fagi Al-Mahdi, the Malian jihadist, was sentenced on Thursday, August 17th by the International Criminal Court to pay €2.7 million individual, collective and symbolic reparation for ordering the destruction of the Muslims in Timbuktu in 2012. Mamadou Tapili.
The man was sentenced in September 2016 to 9 years of prison for destructions of cultural property. It is on Tuesday, 17 August 2017, that the International Criminal Court returned to individual, collective and symbolic reparation. Thus, he will pay the sum of 2.7 million euro for the community of Timbuktu. It was in this northern city of our country, which fell under the control of the terrorist groups ACME and Ansaruddin for 10 months in 2012. That religious monument classified as UNESCO World Heritage has been destroyed. According to the statutes of the ICC, reparations can take the form of money or compensatory measure. This can be achieved, for example, by building a center that provides services to the entire community.
Weekly news.
After a first sitting on August 3rd, the platform on to compris Watisera organized this Friday, August 18, 2007, in front of the French embassy, another sitting. This second sitting of the platform promises to be a mistrust of the head of his state, who had announced in his speech that France is a friendly country that must be treated as it is. Despite this remark of the head of his state, the leaders of the movement requires the same country to shed light on his mission in our country. Cantoned by the police and security forces, this didn't prevent the demonstrators from expressing their feelings.
Weekly news.
After the platform anti-Abana, is the turn of the Azawad Movement Coordination to reject the draft constitutional revision initiated by the President of the Republic. For Bilal Ak-Sherif and his associate, this draft constitution of the head of his state does not take into account any point of the agreement. Mamadou Tapili reports.
The draft constitution as presented to us does not take into account our demands expressed in the agreement for peace and reconciliation resulting from the Alger process. It is in these terms that these responsible of the coordinations of Azawad movement differed from the contents of the draft constitutional reform initiated by the President of the Republic. It was at the press conference hosted last weekend at the Hotel Kempinski. Co-hosted by Bilal Ak-Sherif and Sidi Ibrahim Ul-Sidati, this press conference was an opportunity for the SEMA to clarify its position in relation to the debate on the constitutional revision and the reason for blocking the return of the state to Kidal. As for the first, the position of SEMA is quite clear. In the presented project, the SEMA is not seen in it, clarified Bilal Ak-Sherif, before pointing out that no point scheduled by the agreement is included in this draft revision. We don't agree that the agreement should be taken as a pretext to make this constitutional revision, he warned. For the SEMA, the state should ensure that the project takes into account the aspirations of all parties. The most important thing is not to set dates for the referendum, but rather to have a consensus project, underlined Bilal Ak-Sherif. And the president of SEMA, Sidi Ibrahim Ul-Sidati, to clarify that the SEMA is not against the principle of reviewing the constitution. What we are questioning is the presentations of the project, he said. As for the thorny questions on the return of the administrations and the farmer in Kidal, the SEMA affirms that it is up to the Malian authority to decide. SEMA has always said that it is ready to accept the governor and the farmers, but we don't know why it's blocked. Who prevents them today from coming? In any case, it is not us, added Bilal Ak-Sherif. It is not to us to force the state back, he said. However, SEMA officials expressed with reserve about the return of Gatia to Kidal. They took opportunity to invite the authority to stand out from this militia.
Weekly news.
After the withdrawal of the draft constitutional revision by the President of the Republic, Ibrahim Bakar Keita, announced this Friday night, following protests of the platform Anti-Abana meeting with religious and founding families of Bamako, the platform Anti-Abana organized this Saturday a meeting to greet his militants and ask them to remain vigilant.
Weekly news.
Tars are the first victim of heavy rains. Streets becomes problematic because of mud, potholes, stagnant and full waters. Mamadou Tapili.
Every year during the rainy season, some roads in the capital turn in a state of decay. They become almost impracticable. This causes difficulties to road users and pedestrians. We are in Irimajo behind the stadium 26 Mars. Here, motorists are forced to ride carefully to avoid potholes. Faced to this situation, the inhabitants express their indignation. Above all, they are asking the authorities to help restore this path as soon as possible. Irimajo is not alone in its condition. In reality, during the winter, Bamako becomes dirtier.
Weekly news. Weekly news.
Here takes an end this weekly news. Thank you for your faithfulness to this program. See you next time. Take care.